Imagine being hundreds of feet underground. Complete darkness, only the sound of your breath and distant echoes. What would you do if a shadow, alien and predatory, started crawling toward you? Welcome to the Nightside Archive. Today's tale is the shadow that crawled through the tunnel. In the depths of North Wales, beneath the jagged hills near the town of Blaenau Ffestiniog, lies an abandoned mining system. The locals refer to it simply as the Hollow Depths. Back in the late 19th century, this mine thrived as a slate quarry, supporting an entire community. Over time, though, as profits dwindled, so did the workers, and the Hollow Depths fell silent. Silent, that is, except for one chilling tale that refuses to die. It was 1898 when a miner named Idris Moylwyn disappeared while on shift. Idris was a diligent worker, known for his impeccable timekeeping. So, when he failed to return after his shift, his co-workers were concerned. A search party descended into the sprawling caverns of the Hollow Depths. They followed the faint scrapes of what they assumed was Idris's pickaxe. Instead of finding Idris, what they discovered was more horrifying. Near a small chamber, the searchers found two artifacts: Idris's mining helmet, still warm from the lamp, and something claw-like etched into the stone floor surrounding it. The claw marks. They didn't fit any animal known to the region. Over time, local lore christened this terror as jagged, the dark crawler. Eyewitness accounts were rare, but whenever someone ventured too far into the Hollow Depths, rumors of shadowy figures following them back out surfaced. Fast forward to 1934. A group of amateur explorers decided to map the abandoned slate mine. Trained climbers equipped with headlamps and notebooks, they were fearless. At least, they thought they were. Among this group was a man named Robert Glindwer, who would later write a first-hand account of what happened that day. The group descended a series of narrow shafts, slowly mapping out where old railways and mining carts still rusted in place. Robert described the walls slick with moisture, the air thick, stale, and quiet enough to hear your own heartbeat. They had been exploring for hours when one man, William Hughes, screamed. He had spotted movement. A shadow, deep and impossible, had darted just out of reach of their lanterns. The group reasoned it was an animal, maybe a stray dog or bat nesting in the tunnels, but William swore there was something different. He claimed it was long, slithering, with limbs that didn't move like they should. Think of the nightmare amalgam of a lizard, a spider, and mist itself. Despite William's protests, they pressed further, deeper. Curiosity drove them mad. Their journal notes from this point remain as fragments. Teeth glint in the black. A sound, like reverse whispers. Then just before dusk that same day, the group's mapping expedition turned from scientific to survival. Whatever had been watching them began rushing toward them. Echoes of scratching, clicking noises growing louder, penetrating the resolve of even the bravest among them. Robert recounted the mad dash to the surface. The small chamber leading to their exit shaft narrowed more than they remembered, forcing them to crawl through damp earth. They swore that every flicker of their trembling lanterns revealed the thing behind them. Long arms, tendrils almost, reaching out. Eventually, the group made it out, but not unscathed. William Hughes was missing. Authorities combed the area for weeks without recovering his body. The remaining survivors didn't speak much publicly, except for Robert. His written account suggests the creature they encountered was no longer just legend. Jagged was real, a predator surviving in the shadows of the Hollow Depths. Now it's hard to dismiss the stories like these. Over the decades, urban explorers and ghost hunters have occasionally dared enter the hollow depths, although most who survive such attempts claim no sightings. Still, those few braver, or more foolish, often return pale and traumatized, saying one thing in common: it watches you before you see it. In 1997, during a particularly cold snap, a pair of local teenagers equipped with flashlights ventured into the mine. One of them, Rachel Perry, later described the adventure to a journalist from Bangor. The two were exploring for fun, initially treating the outing like a spooky dare. Then, according to Rachel, an unfamiliar cold swept through the air, lowering the temperature drastically. Moments later, she described hearing scratching, sharp and deliberate, echoing around them. Rachel turned to her friend to suggest they leave when her flashlight revealed something bizarre. Etched into the slate walls were new claw marks, unlike older ones associated with mining tools. These grooves were aligned in diagonal patterns, almost deliberate, like messages. Panic set in, and they ran as fast as they could. Making it back home, Rachel and her friend vowed never to return. Scientists, of course, dismissed these stories. Subterranean winds or shifts in rock crevices can cause strange noises, they say. Long-closed mines often create illusions from reflective moisture or darkness. It's logical, but does it explain the claw marks, the missing people? Logic tries, but these tales persist for a reason. What draws people to legends like the Dark Crawler? Is it simply intrigue, the thrill of testing our bravery against the unknown? Or is it something deeper and darker? Maybe there are some questions humanity isn't meant to answer. So if you ever find yourself wandering too close to abandoned mine shafts, remember this: shadows linger in places untouched by light, and sometimes those shadows crawl